Hey guys, check this out. Not only was it free, but it's a great cold starter. By the way guys, if you guys didn't see my last video, I explained how we got this entire semi-rig without paying a penny for it. Go check that out. It's the video right before this one. Well, it might be. Yeah, it's the video right before this one. Go check it out. You'll enjoy it. I explained how we got this thing for free and didn't pay a cent. And I explained a little bit into the depths of how we did it and why it's important in our economy for the way we did it. Anyway, enough rambling about self-advertising. I got the 4020 on the auger over there. It's warming up. The L8000's warming up and the Sterling's warming up. The Sterling's full, the L8000's got one dump in it, and that's the one truck we're using this morning for the first field we're going to. So I need to empty that out first, and so once that warms up, I'll get that going into the bin, and then we'll empty the Sterling out and put that in the bin as well. And we're going into a 14-acre field, so that'll all fit in the L8000, and then we're going to a 65-acre field, I want to say, and that'll go into both trucks. But I'm gonna let this stuff warm up for a while. It's really cold. It's been snowing here in the this morning, and it also rained last night, but it's been super windy and pretty sunny, so I'm gonna sit in that semi while everything warms up because it has heat. Now I'm just plugging in the spinner, which is this blue cord, and it gets plugged into the breaker box. There we go. You can kind of hear the grain rattling in the bin. That's the spinner bringing it down. The fan is not running at the moment because with the moisture in the air, we don't want to push that moisture into the grain. It'll just make the grain moisture go up. You can't run it while we're going in because the soybeans are a lot lighter than corn, and it blows it out of the top of the bin while you're trying to push it down in. It just doesn't work out. Always start off a new day with a really low amount of load. Make sure everything is working all right before you run everything at full capacity. You want to make sure everything's working so that you don't get huge piles of grain everywhere. And yeah, because if this joint isn't working and I'm running at full capacity, I could probably bury that tractor pretty quick with the amount of grain we run through this. So you run everything at low, and I'm watching up there, make sure no grain is coming down. I'm watching here, making sure the overload door is staying in place. I'm watching the spinner because sometimes we develop some leaks up there and grain can start rolling down the roof. I'm watching all of these things to make sure the grain is going where it's supposed to. That's the first truck done. All of a sudden the snow picked up for a second. Man, it got cold. I don't know how far open I can get that, so I'm gonna gradually itch it up until I think it's a good amount. I just finished emptying the semi. That took forever. Man, I wish we had a faster auger, but it's finally done. A little bit left in the rear hopper that I couldn't get out. Our auger swing won't slide under the bottom hopper because of those side hoppers. So I'm gonna have to figure something out for that, probably come around the opposite direction or something, but for now that's good. And I figured out the airbags weren't pumping up, and I figured out why. One of them I think is blown out, or there's a line above it that is bad, so we'll have to take a look at that. But for now, I think that's all we're doing today. Hello everybody. We got 2 new airbags for the truck. You guys probably don't know that. I haven't told you guys anything about this yet, I don't think. The truck, on my way home from the field I was at the other night, in the previous video, I didn't realize it, but the airbags weren't up. I didn't realize it till I started to unload the truck yesterday. Yeah, so we have 1 airbag that's got a hole in it, and we're gonna replace that one, but Dad went ahead and bought 2. We're gonna do both of them. The one back one looks like it's fairly new that we didn't replace, so we're not gonna do that one. So we got 2 airbags to replace today, and then this truck can go back on the trailer. All right guys, so let me give you a rundown on how an airbag works. This is an airbag, put air in it, inflates, take air out of it, deflates. Simple observations there. So yeah, the old ones, they all have these studs on the bottom. Well, the problem is the nut that's on the old one is rounded off. There's no size possible that goes on it. And if you're wondering, we're replacing the front airbags, front axle airbag. So this one, and there's one on the other side very similar to that. And this is the one we replaced before, and that's the fairly new looking one because it still looks halfway shiny, whereas the other ones underneath are very, very rusty. So we're replacing these. What I got to do, since I can't put a wrench on those, I have to torch those bolts off with the blowtorch, and then we got to put a bottle jack on the leaf shackle and lift it up so that I can take that out, put the new one in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stud out because it just screws in and out somehow. I think Dad put them in, so whoops, he didn't know how I put the last one in. And then I slide that in, put the shaft up through the hole, screw the shaft in, tighten that bolt up, line that bolt up, tighten that one up, and put the air lines on. Pretty simple, but these ones are going to be time consuming because they got like a quick attach air hose line, and if you don't know, quick attaches when left for a long period of time become long attaches, not quick anymore. Alright, I just torched the bolt off. I just want to let you guys know that red, oh, and that ball of flaming fire right there, that little red thing, that is very hot. Don't touch them, okay? I didn't touch it, but I'm just letting you guys know. Usually red glowy things aren't something you want to touch in farming. They're usually pretty bad, so don't touch that. If you're just getting into farming or stuff, don't touch the little red glowy stuff. I got the first one on. So yeah, there's supposed to be like a quick attach air fitting on these, but there's not for some reason. So it was really weird to put it on. You had to pull the hose off the fitting, put the fitting on, put the hose back on. Hopefully it stays in. Hopefully there's not that much PSI air going through these hoses, or hopefully it, I don't know, maybe PSI will seal the fitting or something. But that is the first airbag on. I am on the other side now, and I got a system, I think. I broke the air fitting loose on the inside already, and now I'm gonna jack it up. I got a gap in between the top airbag thing and the bracket. So now I take a sledgehammer, break the bottom part loose, and then pull the airbag out, and then take the fitting off, and put the fitting on the new one, slide the new one in, put it on, tighten it up, and put the air hose on. Hopefully that's how it goes.
Laying around on the job like always. That's how much Gage likes the new truck.
Yep, I sleep here. I gotta put it the rest of the way up when I get it on. Alright guys, the airbag is done. Let me tell you the best way to keep a shop clean. I'm not going to say keep a shop clean because obviously it's not working here. But to take all your tools from the project you were just working on and put them away right away. Saves tons of time. You don't have to come back and do it later. You just do it now and save time. And also, a trick Uncle Billy taught me, but I don't implement very often because it's very time consuming. On your way to the toolbox, any tools you walk by, you pick up and put them away. Reason why it's time consuming is because I would have to make multiple trips, and I would never probably make it to the toolbox. I would be here a week, picking up all the tools on the way to the toolbox. The airbags are on. I've walked around multiple times to make sure there's no tools laying around. It's time for the test. flip the key, push clutch in. Never had a clutch where you had to, or I never had something where you had to push clutch in before. And start her up. It's gonna take a minute. This truck has 1 or 2 air leaks that we know of, and it causes it to completely deplete air pressure. So we're gonna have to wait a second for the air to pump up. There they go. Woo, look at that. Pumped right up. We'll give her a few minutes, make sure they don't go back down, and then we'll hook her up to the trailer and take her around the block, see if they stay up. Alright guys, well, it works. It's right there. Truck pumped right up to 120 PSI, which is where it should be. Airbags went up. I went and unloaded what was left in the hoppers that I couldn't get out the other day. And it's looking like we might be hauling straight out of the field, straight to the elevator with that thing today. Right on time, because beans were coming off Saturday at 14, so we want it at least 12. We'll probably haul it in at 12.5 to 13, just because it's not worth the effort of putting it in the bin and bringing it back out just for a half a point of moisture. So we are going to see what it is first. Obviously, we're not gonna jump the gun and put the truck and everything out there in the field. Dad's spraying off the combine where the hydraulic oil leak was. It still got a little gummy up in there. And then we are going to be bringing the combine down to the field. Grain platform's already out there. We just left it out there on the trailer. And then we'll start combining soybeans. Dad is heading out. He fueled up the combine. I gotta go down to the gas station and fuel up the semi because we're putting on-road fuel in that bad boy so that we can go over the road with it. So we gotta go down and do that. Dad's gonna let me know what the moisture is running, because if it is dry enough, we're just gonna truck her right into the elevator. We're not even gonna bother putting her in the bin. So yeah, that's what I got so far. I'll let you guys know more as I know more. Alright, I just got a text message from Dad. The beans are running 14%, so he said he wants that truck down there, and I guess we're bringing it up to the bin. I thought 14 was gonna be a good haul in moisture, but I'm not sure what the elevator threshold is for not getting docked on soybeans. Dad might know, and that's why he's having it come into the bin. We are out in the soybean field now. Dad's working behind me. You can see this is 18 acres here, this field is, and then there's another field, not the field next to this one, but the next one over, that fence row over there. That is also our field, and we're gonna be moving to that one next. Well, one next to that one. That's 18, also 18 acres, and then the 60 acre field, which will take us probably 2 days to run that. Beans are kind of slow running through the combine, but there's Dad. I'm gonna rush down here real quick to get a shot of him coming up the field for you guys. Oh, now he's unloading. Gotta run to the truck. It's been about 2 days since we've talked, and usually I'd be recording an intro right here, but I'm gonna try and stretch this video out to the end of the week. So we got this field done last night. This was 62 acres. I knocked out 50 acres yesterday doing beans. We had an 18 acre field over here and then a 60 acre field here. We were able to get the 18 done Tuesday night, and then we quit a little bit early so we could watch a little bit of the election results come in, and then we started on this field yesterday morning. Dad was gone, so it was just me and Uncle Billy. We sent 3. Let's see, we had a truck from the 18-acre field that we sent in yesterday morning to the elevator, and then we sent in 2 more. I'm not supposed to be climbing up here. 2 more trucks out of this field, I think, or 3. 2 or 3 trucks out of this field, so that was pretty good. And that trailer was actually holding about 900 bushel, which was surprising for it being a 35-foot trailer. We were told it held 750. I'm gonna check the oil on this combine, and we're gonna move on. We got one more 60-acre field, and then we are on the downhill stretch here. We got a 60-acre field, got part of that, about a quarter of that 75-acre field we started in, and then we have, I don't know how many acres the last field is. It's very weedy, so it's gonna take us a little while, just because of this combine really doesn't like weedy stuff in the beans. That's all the fluids checked. Yep. So let's go get this thing started up. We were having problems. There's a weather seal back here. This is where the radiator is, and this weather seal, you can see it's falling out there, and we had problems with dust getting up in here and plugging up. This is the oil cooler, but the radiator is right here. So this is the radiator, or the oil cooler. That's the radiator, and that is the AC condenser thingy that cools the AC system. We're gonna take the combine up to the farm and fuel it up there, and then go through with the power hose and power hose this out, because I did have to stop around noon yesterday and blow all this out. I had to pull it up to the house and blow the radiator out to get it to stop overheating. So that was kind of risky. Some days this thing needs a jump start, and other days she starts right up. So I'm gonna let this warm up, get the head unhooked, and we'll put the head on the header trailer right there. And we're off to the farm. Combine's home. Gotta fuel it up, that's why it's here. And then we gotta go back and get the grain platform, because I forgot I took the hitch off of Dad's truck, put it on the other one yesterday so I could move the cart out of the way. So we're going back to get it. Alright, Dad's pulling out with the head, and I'm getting the 4960 with the grain cart. I gotta check it over first. Should be good. All right, this is going. We are setting the grain cart up here in this 70-acre field, because the 60-acre field is right on the other side of this creek here, and I don't know if the semi can stay above ground back here. It's usually kind of soft. This field, the 60-acre field, has a marsh running through the middle of it, so it could be kind of soft back here because the marsh is pretty close to the lane and everything. So Uncle Billy's back with the truck, as you can see, so we're gonna try and get this thing loaded up. So what we've been doing yesterday, we were going down to the field, emptying the grain cart, and then coming back here and filling the rest of the truck up with out of the bin, because I was only able to fill about a half truck's worth before he could get back from where we're going, so he would fill half the truck out of the bin and half the truck from out of the field, which I have no idea what the moisture was coming out of the bin. Out of the field it was 11.8, which is perfect. Let me see if there's any slips in the truck. All right, so looking at the slips, moisture ran. The load we took in this morning was 10.6, I believe is what it said, and then the highest was 11.8, which was the first load. So overall moisture's not too bad. We've had as low as 700 bushel on this truck and as high as 900, so that. There goes Uncle Billy with the truck. Loaded him down pretty good. He's probably got 750 on there, so kind of got a little heavy in the back, but at the same time, first time loading a truck, so I got it a little light in the front. So we're gonna get ready to rock and roll here with the combine and get some soybeans knocked out again today.
It's 1-to-1, goes out of the final question. Much accepted baking paper, but Martha could read the answer and you are the winner. But you got 2 guy ones? By the way, some of these questions I think are a bit sexist. It's like asking.
Alright guys, so we're plucking away at this 60-acre field now. Having to go about a half mile an hour slower than the last one just because the mare's tail's still a little green yet in this one, and there is mare's tail in this one. The other one was a fairly clean bean field, so I was able to fly through there at about 3 miles an hour, but now we're back down to 2.5 to 2, mainly 2 really, and yeah, we're going pretty good. I'm on a flat part, that's why I'm able to record right now, but yeah, we got a clean sample out the back, which is unusual because our sample for beans with this combine is usually pretty dirty because we have aftermarket sieves that are more specialized for corn, and we kind of take the sacrifice on beans a little bit and get a little bit more pods. I didn't even look at the slip at the elevator to see what foreign material was, what level, if we were being docked for it or not, but I don't know if we are or not. Foreign material, yeah, it's just anything else in the beans that aren't beans, really, is that's what the definition of foreign material is. And we're at the end of the field. So how I like to combine is I like to work off a split just because it feels like it saves more time turning around. But yeah, so I have 2 lines of beans and I work either from the inside out, or I'll work kind of on the outside of one and on the inside of the other, just to keep the distance of my turnaround the same. It just makes it where I don't get wider and end up driving more as I go. Instead, I'm driving the same amount of distance on the headlands until once I feel like I'm pretty close to being full, I'll run however I have to keep the auger on the outside so that I can unload into the grain cart. I am full, the cart is full. We are heading up to the front here. We are way in the back we are on the other side of the 75-acre field, and the semi doesn't have very good tires on it, so we don't want to have it come all the way out here. So we're gonna drive this and the cart up to the front, unload it all onto that. It should be, truck is like 1 dump short of being full then. I don't know if he'll take it up to the farm and top it off, or if he'll take it all the way up to the dealers, or not the dealership, all the way up to the the place where you sell grain, the elevator. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I am going to unload into him. That's all I know, and then I'm gonna go back to combining soybeans. Just realized I completely forgot to video me dumping into the semi.
You're doing it
Whoops.
pretty much the opposite of what everybody else.
I have been relieved 4.5 hours today. Well, I did about 20 acres maybe, if that, maybe 15. And not gonna reach the 30-acre goal for tonight, I don't think, because I think these beans are gonna get tough. They're already running really hard, but yeah, we'll get close, I think. So I guess I should show you guys the chicken area, because I don't think I've showed it to you guys yet. Here it is, off the side of the shed here. Goes out pretty long ways, actually. And they have just devoured this, and you can see all the little divots where they've started digging around. How you guys doing? They're not social chickens. They're very unsocial chickens. And, alright, no stinking in here. We got the rabbits in here. Really hard to see. But all I'm going to do is fill up the water for the chickens, because I think they're out. Rabbits are out of water, and collect the eggs. Alright guys, so I think this is all you're gonna see of me today. It's getting late. You guys will never guess what we are doing today. We are combining soybeans. I am so unpredictable. We are combining soybeans again for another day. Hopefully soon to be the last day of conventional soybeans. I believe Dad has over half that field done last night. So should be a matter of just wrapping her up today and then moving on to the 8 or 9 acre field we have that is really, really weedy. All right, Uncle Billy just took off with the last load of soybeans out of the grain bin. We will have to shovel out the bin, but that'll wait probably until sometime, maybe tonight when it cools off a little bit. It's kind of hot in the bin right now, but I'm heading down to the field right now to take Dad's place because he told me to in a couple hours, and I believe it's been a couple hours. Dumping two things at once. Combine to the cart to the truck. This is a mad skill. Everybody's just sitting around. Almost empty.
Look at that. From the deer. Oh, they leveled this part of the field.
Alright, so I broke a knife. Looks like I might have been a guard to where I can't use it. So I'm getting out. And I'm gonna fix it. We got a ways to go out here yet, but can't go without a knife. And that rivet's already pulled out. That's good to know. I fixed that this morning. Forgot to put the reel up. I grab everything so that I don't have to come back down here. And when I do, I make it where I gotta come back down. There, that one. That button just lifts the reel up so that it makes the cutter bar a lot more accessible and easier to work on. Because if you didn't know, these reels, the fingers go right down, right on top of the cutter bar, so you can't do really any work on it without that. And that's the knife we gotta fix right there. And we're having trouble with these weeds all getting pulled under this pipe. I don't know why, we've never seen this before. I might as well replace the guard, it's loose. I've taken care of. Time to get back in the cab and keep listening to podcasts and contemplating what it would be like to be done working every day at 6. Alright, this 60-acre field is done. We're moving on to that section of the 75-acre field. It's 18 acres. It's really rocky, so we're only going to run it while we have daylight. So we're going to see how much of that we can knock out. Dad's probably going to run it, and then we're going to see how much he can knock out tonight before the sun goes down. Alright, chickens are fed. Time to get the real work done. We're going to be cleaning out the bin. I'll show you guys the inside in a minute. I gotta go grab a mask because soybean dust literally feels like it's gonna kill you. Got my mask. Doesn't really, it's not like an official dust room stopper mask. I'm gonna go around the edges and work it all into the center and try and get it to where this center thing's not gonna catch it. I'm gonna try and shovel it straight to the door, and then we'll pull the semi around and let it run. And then you gotta do it 3 or 4 times before you get everything out, because some of it is gonna get caught by that center pillar and get redistributed, and that just happens. So I'm gonna shovel all of this, and then after I do that a couple times, then we'll sweep it and it'll be ready for corn. Quite a bit of time later and 1 blister, and we got the first stage of this shoveled out. Now I gotta get out, go get the semi, kick that middle thing on, let it drain out, and hopefully it gets most of this out, and then we'll shovel stage 2 into the center and just keep going until we get empty. That's one of the disadvantages of having warm days in November. When you shovel out the bin, it gets really hot. The truck is in place now to get this thing rolling. A little dusty. Time for phase 2, which it took a lot more soybeans than I thought it would, so there's a lot less in there to shovel. As you can see, this thing has completely decimated the pile, and since I shut the door before I shut the auger off, you can see it's kind of created a little bit of a pile there itself again. So I gotta go around and, like, from here about, shovel it all in again, and we'll go for round 3, or round 2 of the augers, round 3-ish. Nope, round 2 of everything. Pile number 2 is in place. We are ready to start the augers. Alright, we got the bin cleaned out, and now I'm gonna head down to the field and see if Dad is running or not. Usually you can hear him from here, but I don't hear anything. So we'll see if he's running yet. And then I'm probably gonna go home and start editing, because this is a whopper of a video. And guys, I think just because of what we're doing today, it's gonna be the exact same thing as usual. I'm probably gonna be sitting around more though, because Dad's gonna run the last of the beans. But if you guys, I think I'm gonna bring back the daily videos. I think it's gonna be a lot easier. I got a lot of footage now that I can run. I got a lot of things to video,
So for now, we're gonna go back to one-day vlogs starting on Monday. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new. Guys, I've been looking at the charts and only 90% of you, or 90% of you aren't subscribed. So you guys can hit 100 subscribers pretty easily. So please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.